Hello students, welcome back to second session on quantitative technique 1. In first session we discussed in detail what is statistics, important definition on statistics given by different authorities, characteristics of statistics, 5 important phases of statistical process. At the end of first session I informed you that we are going to discuss two important phases of statistical process in detail, particularly in second session. What are all that? One is collection of data, other one is classification of data. We know that organizing data collected is the second step. How to organize? It involves 3 steps. They are editing of collected data, classification of collected data, and tabulation of collected data. So, in this session, we are concentrating in detail on collection of data and classification of data. Classification is one of the important part in organizing collected data. One of the important parts in organizing what data? Collected data. So, let me discuss in detail about collection of data. Collection of data can be done by relying on various sources. The sources of data can be classified into 3 categories. If you refer some textbook on statistics, it says that there are 2 sources of data. They are primary data and secondary data. But when you refer some other textbook, it says 3 categories of sources of data. They are secondary data, internal record and primary data sources. Actually, internal record comes under secondary data. Did you get my point? Internal data comes under what data source? Secondary data source. So, let me discuss in detail about all these 3 sources of data. Try to understand. Internal record comes under secondary data sources. What is secondary data source? Collection of data from an existing source which was collected by someone else for some purpose constitute secondary data source. Means if you collect data from an existing source which was already collected by someone for some purpose, that constitute secondary data source. The investigator need not go to the primary source to collect the data, as we must know that the collection of primary data is not as easy as collection of data from secondary source. In the sense, it is not that much easy to collect data from primary source as it involves time. At the same time, you have to incur cost to collect what data? Data from primary source. It is not that much easy. That's why many investigators are concentrating on secondary source of data. It is nothing but making use of existing source which was collected by someone else for some purpose. For example, someone already conducted a study on performance evaluation of BCom B students over a period of 2 years. Someone already collected. Try to understand. Now, I thought of conducting a study on performance evaluation of section B. If I collect data directly from you, it is primary source. If I make use of someone who already collected data from you, then I am making use of secondary data source. Did you get my point? So, let me see what is that internal data. The internal data accumulated by an organization through its internal records and reports can also be used for finding solution to various problems. Try to understand. Each and every business concern have its own internal records and report. So, making use of data which are there in that internal records and report to get solution to some problem, that constitute internal records. The record provides invaluable data such as payrolls, sales records, production records, inventory records, purchase records, accounting records, cash book. These records provide data relating to wages, salaries, turnover, productivity, inventory, cash flow, manufacturing expenses, etc. So, the investigator can make use of this internal data accumulated by organization through its internal records and report. So that constitute internal data. Actually, internal data is a part of what data source? Secondary data source. So if you collect data from an existing source which was collected by someone for some purpose constitute secondary data source, which also involves internal data. Internal data means data which you will get from internal records and reports of an organization, which can also be used for which can also be used for finding solution to the various business problems. So this is all about secondary data and internal records. Let me see primary data source. This indicates data collected by carrying out original study. So means if I conduct original study, I am not making use of existing internal records, I am not making use of existing source which was given by someone used for some other purpose. I am collecting data directly from my respondents. In the sense, if I want to know what's going on in the market, particularly performance of my company's product, if I collect data from customers of my product, then what I am doing is I am making use of primary data source. Try to understand. So primary data source indicates data collected by carrying out what study? Original study. So if I collect data from you people, means from students of first BCom B directly, that indicates primary data source. So original study is taken up to collect the data when there is no availability data from existing source such as internal data or secondary data. Usually we will go for primary source only when there is when there is no availability of data from existing source such as internal data as well as secondary data. On a particular aspect, if there is lack of secondary data source or internal records, usually we go for what data source? Original data source. Because collecting data from primary source involves a lot of time, and at the same time you should be in a position to incur certain cost associated with collecting data from primary source. That's why when existing source is not available, then only we will make use of primary data source. The designing and executing such study or survey has its own limitation in terms of time, manpower, money available for such purpose. So that's what I said. If you want to collect data from primary source, so you need manpower, you need money, you need time. If it is available, go for it. If it is not available, better to make use of secondary data source. The primary data may be collected using questionnaire or making use of observation method. So by giving questionnaire, so I can collect the data, or by observing your behavior, I can collect the data. So you might have remember that we collected data with regard to your registration number, your phone number, your parents' name by making use of Google form. Means we made use of questionnaire method to collect data, primary data. So in case if we observe your behavior, for example, you are in a shopping mall, we will observe you. What we are observing is your behavior. It may be known to you or it may be unknown to you. So to know what exactly your behavior in a shopping mall. So that is nothing but observation. So observation can be done by manually or by making use of certain sophisticated machines. So, but it is very clear that primary data can be collected by making use of questionnaire method or by making use of observation. So this is all about collection of data. What are the various sources from which you can collect the data? One is secondary source, the other one is internal record, third one is primary data source. Secondary means existing source, internal record is part of secondary source. Primary means collecting data by carrying out original study, provided you have time, you have manpower and you have money for such purpose. And when existing source is not available, when data from existing source is not available, definitely you will make use of primary data source. So this is all about sources of data. So let me concentrate on classification. We know that once we collect data from various sources, from primary, from secondary sources, so we should organize such collected data. Organizing involves 3 steps: editing, next one is classification, next one is tabulation. So very much important is classification, which involves various concepts that we will make use of in statistics. That's why I'm concentrating on classification process. What is classification? Classification is the process of arranging the collected data into classes and to subclasses according to their common characteristics. So in the sense, you are grouping related facts into classes. So whatever data I collect from you directly, I will group it based on related facts. So that is nothing but classification. So how post office people will sort the letter in post office? That indicates classification. Did you get my point? So you are grouping the related facts into classes. So that indicates classification. There are 4 important types of classification. They are geographical classification, chronological classification, qualitative classification and quantitative classification. Now you will come to know what exactly classification is. Geographical classification. When collected data are classified on the basis of location or area, it is called geographical classification. So in case if I collect some data relating to your background or your demographical characteristics, if I classify that data based on area you hail from, for example, some students are from rural area, some students are from semi-urban area, some students are from urban area. If I classify data based on area you hail from, that indicates geographical classification. So I had given an example, you just see classification of production of food grains in different states in India. Means based on different states, you classified the data. So 3 states are given production of food grain. So you collected data, try to understand the production of food grain, particularly throughout India, you classified it based on states. What is the production of food grain in Tamil Nadu? What is the production of food grain in terms of tons in Karnataka? So that is how you classify based on geographical classification. This is all about geographical classification. Chronological classification. So classifying on the basis of time like month, year, that constitute what is that? Chronological classification. So for example, you classified profit of an organization over a period of 5 years. 2001, what is the profit? 2002, what is the profit? 2003, 2004, 2005. So based on time, month or years. Time here means either weekly or monthly or yearly. Year-wise data you are collecting and you are putting it in terms of table. That constitute chronological classification. For example, if I want to know performance of a particular company over a period of last 3 years, so I will collect the data, then I will classify based on year, last 3 years. That constitute chronological classification. So did you get my point? That is what chronological classification. Qualitative classification. In qualitative classification, data are classified on the basis of some attributes or quality. Here, you are classifying the data based on quality or attributes, such as based on sex, male and female basis you are classifying, based on color of hair you are classifying, based on literacy level you are classifying, based on religion you are classifying. So that constitute qualitative classification. So how many respondents belong to a particular religion? How many respondents are female? How many respondents are male? Means you are classifying data based on certain quality or certain attributes of respondents. So that is nothing but qualitative classification. So in this type of classification, the attributes under study cannot be measured. That is very much important. So means on what basis you are classifying? On the basis of some attributes or some quality. So these quality cannot be measured quantitatively. So it can only be found out whether it is present or absent in the units of study. That's all. You cannot measure it. You can find only whether that quality or attribute is present or not present, means absent in the units of study. So that constitute qualitative classification. Quantitative classification. Quantitative classification refers to classification of data according to some characteristics which can be measured. So, if you classify data according to some features which cannot be measured is qualitative classification. So, if you classify the data according to some characteristics which can be measured, for example, height you can measure, weight you can measure, income you can measure, profit you can measure. So, that indicates quantitative classification. Did you get my point? So, in case of qualitative classification, you are classifying based on certain qualities which cannot be measured. So, you can identify only whether that quality is present or absent in the unit of study. In the units of study. But in case of quantitative classification, you can measure it. For example, classifying based on height, classifying based on weight, classifying based on mark scored, classifying based on income. So I had given an example. You just see the student of school may be classified according to weight as follows. So weight in kgs, 40 to 50, how many students are there? 50. 50 to 60 kg, 200 students are there. 60 to 70, 300 students are there. 70 to 80, 100 students are there. 80 to 90, 30 students. How I classify? Based on certain characteristics which can be measured, either in terms of kgs or in terms of rupees, whatever it is, which can be measured. So that classification indicates quantitative classification. So when you classify data, there are two important elements that you should concentrate on or that you should know. One is variable, the other one is frequency. Whether you classify based on geographical classification or based on, try to understand, chronologically you classify or on the basis of qualitative classification or on the basis of quantitative classification. So each classification has two elements. One is variable, the other one is frequency. We will see what is variable, what is frequency, particularly in next session. Till that, take care.